This is a Z89 exclusive interview.
Welcome back to A Brief Intermission, the show where you can take a brief intermission from your day and get front row delivery of all of the backstage theater news right here in Central New York.
Today, we are joined by two wonderful representatives of first-year players, a student-run theater Oregon campus. We're joined by Nick, the director, and Talia, who plays Katie in the upcoming production of Mean Girls. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're so excited to talk with you.
And I love that you have your pink on, and I have my red. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. So I want to know a little bit more about both of your theater backgrounds. What kind of brought you into this wonderful world of theater?
So I started about 10 years ago just in a community theater by my house. One of my really good friends always did it, and she did Sioux School one year, and I said to my mom, I think I want to do that. The next year she signed me up, and we did Shrek the Musical. It was my first show ever, and I was Pinocchio.
Fun.
Since then I've always sought out theater experiences.
My older brother did theater growing up, and I joined the same summer camp that he did and ended up working at that summer camp for 4 years and just continued doing theater throughout grade school and high school and just really fell in love with the community and the art.
Yeah, I love that.
Awesome. So I already prefaced that you're the director and that you're playing Katie, but talk a little bit more about your roles and the process so far. Just give us a brief background on that.
Yeah, it's for the director, it starts in the fall. It's a lot of pre-production meetings, setting up the set, what everything's going to look like, and then getting everything ready for auditions. And that's the first week of spring. And then once we get our cast, it's just rehearsals every day. It's about 3 hours a day until the show. And then we have tech week before, and that's a whole thing. We have to load in everything, get everything set up, but it's really exciting.
Yeah. I auditioned in January and then started rehearsals with the rest of the cast. And we do choreo, music, and directing, I think 6 days a week, and it's just been super fun to get to know everyone in the cast and spend time with everyone.
Yeah, I love that. And for people who may not know what First Year Players is, you guys kind of just describe it a little bit more?
Yeah, we're a student-run organization, one of the biggest on campus, and we give first-year students the opportunity to perform or be on the crew or pit of a musical in the spring.
And then what drew you, Talia, into trying out for the show?
I think the community was the biggest thing that drew me to it. I saw a lot of it on social media, and I'm in acapella, and a lot of people in acapella do FYP as well. And everyone talked about the community so highly and just how welcoming it is, so that definitely drew me to it.
100%. Okay, so Talia, you're playing Katie, which is a really iconic role in a really iconic musical that I feel like pretty much everyone knows, even if you're not a theater fan, you know what Mean Girls is.
For sure.
Throughout your process, how have you worked to make Katie unique from other iterations you've seen, maybe in movies or on stage? Just talk more about that.
I think I definitely brought myself a lot into her and kind of stepped aside from the awkwardness that she usually brings in and kind of brought in my own awkwardness to it, and just embraced a little bit of the Lindsay Lohan in the movie and then Erica Henningsen in the musical, and just kind of pulling from all different people I've seen play her.
Did you watch, did you go back once you found out that you were going to be Katie and kind of study the different ways that they did it, or did you try to stay away from that?
I watched the movie right before auditions, just as a little good luck charm. And after that, I wouldn't really watch things. I kind of wanted to really make it my own and just use what I had prior to the process, but really just bring in my own vibe to it.
And what about you from a directing standpoint? Did you kind of go back and look at old iterations of the staged production of it to see what you could take from it or what not? Or how did your brain process kind of go about that?
I think honestly my biggest issue is that I don't watch the movie or anything before, and that's even when I was in shows. My parents would call me, be like, all right, have you seen the movie? Nope.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Sometimes it's better.
I agree.
I think it's better because I can it's entirely my own.
Yeah.
I'm not taking an idea from someone else, but we do look at other productions that high schools have done to kind of just fill in the empty spaces. I look at stuff like lighting and sounds and what are they doing that we could do and how can we improve on that. But yeah, I never really watched the movies, which I probably should.
That's okay.
I've seen Mean Girls before.
Yeah. Okay. Of course.
At least there's that. Okay. So In terms of your process, Nick, I want to know more about like, you know, step one. What's your step one when you're given a scene as a director? How do you approach it, like with your team? Give us your process.
Yeah, for me, I always try to find a goal for the scene. What do the characters want to do, and then how can my blocking emphasize that goal? So usually it'll just be the spacing between characters. I like to bring people together and force them apart at points. But for me, the blocking is the easy part, and the hard part is getting the character right, and you know, tactics and gestures and things like that. So I like to play a lot of different games and like make them do weird things that kind of just feel so awkward, but it helps so much in the end. And it really could tell when it's on stage, the difference.
And from an actor's perspective, do you appreciate those like kind of awkward exercises when you're going into a scene?
I love it. I think it really helps kind of get into character, and especially you're meeting all these people for the first time and you don't really know them, and to just go right into it and do a bunch of weird stuff really helps bond with them, and being close with the people you're on stage with definitely helps make the show feel very real and personal. And so I think it's super, super helpful.
Yeah, the hardest part is getting everyone together. So I always think it's just best to just put everything on the table, make everyone do something weird, and then like I had them all be animals for like 5 minutes.
Love.
That was the first time they met me. And then you guys are so
Sounds
close, and it's awesome. Like, it's really great to see.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we're nearing an end to the process. We're coming up on Tech Week, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what has been a highlight of this process for you guys so far? It doesn't have to be one. It can be a couple. It can be in the rehearsal process or outside the rehearsal process, because you guys talked a lot about how FYP really is a community. So maybe a highlight from the semester, from the show process from each of you would be awesome.
I think a highlight for me would be getting to know all the staffers in the org as well as the first years. I think it's been really cool to have people who are older than you kind of show you everything that's happening, and then also other people going through the same thing as you and the same experience. And so it's been really, really fun to get to know so many different kinds of people who do so many different things around campus besides FYP. And then I also just think the rehearsal process has been really, really fun, and learning the show has been really exciting.
Yeah, mine is kind of the opposite of hers, just getting to meet the first years and watch them grow. I think theater is one of the most incredible things you could do, and watching them, like I get so jealous that they get to be on stage next week. But it's just been really awesome to watch them grow through this semester. Like, and kind of weird to think that I was there 3 years ago. But
Major unk behavior.
no, it's really awesome just getting to know them and watch them grow and have so much fun that we had.
Absolutely. So I have to ask, because I know originally you weren't set to do Mean Girls. Originally it was set to be Heathers, and obviously we're doing Mean Girls now, which I still absolutely love, and I feel like they're still very in the same realm. Mm-hmm. What was that kind of switch from where you were set to direct then Heathers as well before it switched over to Mean Girls? So then what was your thought process then going from Heathers to then having to switch over to a completely different show? Did it change your mindset at all?
It's definitely a bummer at first, because we had all these production meetings already. My set was designed and everything. So for that standpoint, we have to like go over that stuff again. But after a little while, you get used to it. I'm happier to just have a show. Mm-hmm. And it's more about the first year's experience than the show that I want to do.
Yeah. 100%.
I know that they'll have fun doing anything, and I can make fun out of anything. So that's what's important.
And that's what makes a great director, is being able to be adaptable and on the fly. Were you going to audition regardless of originally when it was Heather? Okay, so then I have to ask, you obviously are Katie in Mean Girls, but if it was Heather's, what role did you want?
Oh my gosh.
That's hard.
Honestly,
the important, hard-hitting questions here.
It's really hard.
I kind of think I was just auditioning to audition and see what was going to happen.
That's PR answer.
If, like, best case scenario, I think I would have wanted Heather McNamara. Love Lifeboat.
I see that for you.
I was also saying you were totally giving Heather Mac vibes.
Thank you so much. But yeah, I think I kind of just auditioned to be there and have fun.
Yeah, I love that. And I then kind of going off of that, now stepping into Mean Girls now, do you have a favorite part in the show that you were excited for people to see,
Yeah, both
that you're
of you.
like, this is going to be the moment where everybody is just obsessed?
I mean, World Burn, Regina, like that's her big number. I think it's gonna look so good on
good.
stage with the lights and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I really like till someone gets hurt reprise.
Yes,
I think it's
I
like
love that number.
our Janice does a really good job
Mhm.
just really portraying the emotion. So I really like that part.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
Same. So we talked about some highlights and a lot of the positive moments, but I kind of want to know, has there been any challenging moments for you as an actor, exploring Katie, for you as a director? What has been one of the biggest challenges throughout this process, and how did you kind of overcome it, or how are you working to overcome it as we're approaching Tech Week? Because I know that can make a lot of problems arise, you know, that we didn't know existed. So how do you cope with that?
For me, it's hard to imagine what it's going to look like outside of my head.
Yeah.
Like I'm stuck with everything in my brain. Oh, I think this will look good.
Mm.
Like we have a meeting before Tech Week where me and the art team go through everything in the show. So everything is set and we know this, but you know, I don't know what it's going to look like except for in my head, which probably not going to look the same on stage. So that's been a big challenge, just trying to visualize what it's going to really look like.
I think for Katie specifically, she's really different than any of the roles I've played in the past. And so it's been really fun to get to try out new things and just kind of play like a high schooler. I've never really done that before. And so it's been really fun to try new stuff out. And I think Katie is very much trial and error and just trying out new things. I think that's been the most difficult part, but also the most fun part.
And something that I feel like FYP does so well is just bridging the gap between like theater and the drama department and the drama world
Yeah.
with the rest of campus, because you
100%.
obviously can't be a drama major to, right?
Yeah.
You can't be a drama
You
major
can't
to
be a performance drama major.
yeah, you can't to be in the show. So why do you think this show is going to appeal so well to the broader Syracuse University community, and why people are going to come out and see the show? Why is it important for them to do so?
I mean, it's such a loved musical and such a known, iconic musical that people are going to come and they're going to see a lot of things that they recognize, and then there's going to be parts that are different because it's every show is different.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'll see the love that the cast all have for each other on stage, and I think that really shows in their interactions on stage. And so, yeah, I think it's just, you should consume theater. It is so beautiful and it's such an important art form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really agree with all of that. I think the characters in the show are really, really loved, and a lot of us kind of grew up watching them. I think the first time I watched Mean Girls was in like 4th grade, which probably wasn't the best. But, I've definitely grown up loving the characters and loving the story itself. And so I think seeing all of that on stage will be really, really cool for everyone. And yeah, just seeing the cast bond on stage, I think will be really cool. And it's been so much fun performing with them, so I feel like it'll be fun to watch too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you said. It's just like everybody should be consuming
Everybody needs to see a
theater.
show.
Yeah.
Like there's just no other feeling like that.
Yeah.
And you can watch like a movie in like a movie theater or whatever, and those are all great, but there's just nothing that you'll ever get just sitting in a theater and like everybody is doing the exact same thing at the exact same time, just sitting there watching the exact same thing play out in front of you, which I think is really, really beautiful.
100%. I feel like I have a fun question that
Okay,
we
go
ask
for
a
it.
lot of our guests. So not Mean Girls related, not FYP related, but what's a dream role that you have? And there's no limitations on this question. So go for it.
Like you're putting us on the
I
spot.
Or if you've already played your dream role, you can say that too.
I have like
But-
2. Can I?
Go.
Yeah, say
Do it.
two.
I've
Do
always
it.
wanted to play Rose in Dogfight. That's
a really good one.
Thank you so much. It's so good, and I love her music. And Little Red and Into the Woods was one of mine, but
Yeah,
I played
really
her in
good.
high school, so that was fun.
Cool.
It's awkward because I was going to say Eddie from Dogfight is one of mine. That's my favorite musical. I would kill to be him. And also JD from Heathers.
Yeah.
Great.
I could never sing either of those roles, but I wish I could. And if I could, it would be over for everyone.
Oh my god. Well, that's how I feel about everything because I am not a performer at all when it comes to the theater world. I just sing for my car and my playlist in my car. But I'm like, if I could perform, like I would be
My dream role is
unstoppable.
Janice, and I'm living vicariously through our Janice right now. So
No, I would be even more insufferable than I am already if I could actually sing. But yeah, going into, again, you have one more week before the official show. How has it been overall, this entire process and kind of reaching the final like tipping point before about the show? How are you guys feeling going into the last week?
I think definitely bittersweet. It's definitely going to be, I look forward to seeing everyone every day. And so it'll be sad to not get to do that. Obviously, I'll still see them. But every single day when we're all in the same place, working on the same thing, it's a really cool feeling to get to do with everyone. And I'm also just really excited to show everyone how hard we've been working and the show itself. So it's definitely just, it's a bittersweet feeling, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just mainly excited. This semester's been long, been hard, but it's so rewarding to see it on stage and see what we're doing like in real time. So yeah, I'm really excited for everyone else to see it. I'm excited to finally enjoy it and not have to sit there taking notes.
Yeah,
I could just sit there and be happy with what I'm looking at. So yeah.
I love that. So for people who are interested in going to see the show, where can they find tickets? All of those juicy details, give it to us.
I think it's on, you could go to our Instagram, FIP Syracuse, and it's also on Syracuse Events. I think you can buy tickets there.
Yes.
Perfect. And show dates for people who may not know?
April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at 7 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us at A Brief Intermission. We really appreciate it. And
Thank
break
you.
the leg next week.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks
Thank
for
you for
having
having
us.
us.